Let's see why everybody leaving Faze, man.
Hey YouTube, what is going on, guys? Man, I did not think I would be making this type of video when I went home on vacation. On Christmas, there's so much that went down. My phone went absolutely berserk. The internet went absolutely berserk. And like I said, this is something that I kind of knew was coming for the last couple of weeks, but I didn't think it was going to sit here and happen on Christmas, man. So first of all, if you don't know who I am and you're clicking this video, I'm Faze Swag. I've been in Faze for 6 years. And as you guys saw on the internet throughout the entire thing, several members left on Christmas, and everyone has been asking me questions. First of all, if you ever been a fan of Faze, make sure y'all drop a like, man. You know, I've been watching Faze since I was literally since I started playing Call of Duty, and then I was recruited in 2020 by Faze Apex.
I thought he was in Faze for longer than that.
Call of Duty content creator, and at that time, I was their first Call of Duty recruit.
Oh, yeah, actually, that makes 7 years, man.
So it's been a crazy ride the last 6 years. Even in the last year and a half, have been pretty great. You know, just seeing what the boys have built.
Faze Clan.
The people that announced that they left last night were Lacey, Stable Ronaldo, Silky, Adapt, which I think is one that just I think shocked the entire internet.
Yeah, bro. If you got Adapt leaving Faze Clan, bro, that's kind of crazy, bro. Because Faze Adapt has been in Faze since the OG Faze Clan, like since they were in the OG Faze house, bro. Like, I remember being I was probably like 10 or 11, 12, something like that. I was young, watching those old Faze videos, watching the old, Call of Duty trick shots. I was an OG viewer. I don't watch Faze like that anymore, but I used to watch them back in the day when I was a kid, bro. Bro, I just remember Faze Adapt's, the crane trick shot, bro. Bro, so if you got him leaving Faze Clan, that's how you know something went down. Something went down for sure.
I think when Lacey and Ron and Jason and Silky announced that they were leaving, people thought it was kind of a joke or it was some sort of skit. But when Adapt had left, I think that's when literally everyone on my phone said, "Is this actually real? Is this actually happening?" You know. And you know, Adapt's been in Faze for 14 years, so for him to leave the clan is,
yeah, I
mean, it's definitely serious.
It's gotta be serious, bro.
Some people may argue with me in the comment section below about this, but I think Adapt is probably the most, I would say, is the best Faze Clan member of all time. I think Rug is also a top Faze Clan member, but I think Rug is the type of person who kind of did his own thing. The way I look at Rug is, I think Rug is like the USA team, and Adapt played for the Lakers and won 6 chips. That's how I would kind of put them there. Rug took the Faze name and put it in places in the world that people have never even heard of Faze or gaming or anything like that ever. But Adapt was really in LA, grinding in the heart of the organization, and he is the funniest, most genuine person I've ever met. He's genuinely the most funniest person. Everything you see on stream with Adapt is exactly how he is in person. Even if we're just eating a sandwich, bro, he's just cracking a joke and just laughing and just being goofy.
When you guys went to the Pig Cafe, it looked like Lacey family reunion. Oh,
and over the last year and a half, things have
crazy.
Been pretty great, especially within Faze.
Wild.
This is all from my perspective.
They always doing Lacey crazy,
for anybody,
bro.
Who left or anything like that, or what's going on. And a lot of you guys are asking if I'm leaving, which I will explain. First of all, I kind of want to paint the picture of what Faze actually looked like within the org, what our roles were and different things like that. So as you guys know, we had the Faze house, which had people living in it such as Max, Silky, Jason, Ron, Lacey, and
I did see that new Faze house. That new Faze house was fire. I'm not gonna lie. I did hear though that this new Faze group right here is gonna be making their own group, like a new group. I did hear things from Twitter that I've been seeing, some leaks and everything. So we might see a whole new group instead of Faze.
And Adapt moved in a little bit later, but he was part of that core streaming group. And those 5 guys besides Adapt were all recently recruited in the last 2 years, and they kind of just all grew together. They grew all good communities, man. Their communities are massive, and they've done a great job carrying Faze and kind of bringing back Faze in general. And a lot of that credit I got to give to, man, I'll literally tell you the story I remember, bro. I remember Kason telling me about, first of all, about Max. I had never heard about Black Boy Max, man. He showed me some of his clips and streams because I mainly just game. I mainly play Call of Duty. I stay in my own lane, and I mainly just game. You know what I mean? I'm a gamer. I remember him telling me about Black Boy Max. I remember Ron telling me about Jason the Ween. I remember Ron telling me about Lacey when Lacey was like had pink hair, and I remember meeting all them and kind of seeing this overall the potential, you know. And they've grown over the last 2 years and really putting. I mean, they've won back-to-back orgs for Faze Clan. So they've done a great job. And I can really speak to their just character and just overall when it's off camera. At the weekly Faze shoots, which was what I would always go to, and I would go to the house sometimes, they were all just cool, very chill individuals who just genuinely wanted to succeed together. They always plan things together, and they care so much about the brand. There was a clip of Ron, I would say a couple months ago, about him, you know, never wanting to leave Faze Clan, and that was facts. Ron definitely felt some type of way as far as never wanting to leave. So you obviously have the core people that lived in the house that we would shoot YouTube videos. Because I'm in LA, I would come to the video shoots, and again, this is through my perspective. So they obviously had the house all together making content. We would do video shoots. I live in LA, so I would literally go to the LA shoots that were probably 20 minutes away, hang out with them. We would shoot like 2 or 3 videos, and then we would go our separate ways. A lot of people would ask why I don't live in the Faze house or different things like that. Look, I'm a little bit older than all of them. I'm 29, about to be 30.
Damn.
I've done the 3 to 4 Faze houses with
that's
my boys,
Unk right
you know
there.
what I mean? So
Okay. That right there is Unk. For all the kids that be in the chat that be calling me Unk, bro. Should I age drop right now? You know, whatever.
I wanted to just have my own space and overall.
I'm not that old though. I'm not 30.
At some point, you got to understand.
I'm
what's
not 30
for
yet,
the
bro.
team, and I understand.
Not even close.
And then you obviously have guys like Scope, who is a true sniper, like for Call of Duty. Zuma, who's truly into the competitive scene. Jev, who does his own variety content but still carries the Faze name. Rug, who does his own thing with his YouTube videos.
Jev, I forgot about
YouTube
Faze.
videos. Doesn't really
Jev,
stream. Does his own thing for Faze. So that's kind of how the scope of the whole thing kind of worked. You have guys like Apex who worked on the back end for Faze. But at the core center of it all was the Faze house and the boys who streamed every single day. Like I said, I saw some clips, even from Ricky talking about how they all have egos and different things like that. Look, at the end of the day, that is something I did not experience. They all were, I'm gonna tell you this right now. They all had a right to have an ego, and they just did not. Look, they showed up to the video shoots, whether they maybe liked it or not. They just showed up and they did it. They knew what was best for the group. They understood that, yo, we got to do content together. Even like YouTube video content, we got to do the extra stuff to continue to push the brand. So as far as their character and different things like that, I mean, for them being 21, 22, averaging, you know, I saw Ron. I'll tell you like this, man. Ron is so funny. He built a slide in the back of the Faze house, 35,000 viewers, and he would show up. Ron would be the first one to the video shoots. Let's say we had a video shoot at 9 o'clock. Ron would be there at 8:30, 8:15. on his phone, sleeping, ready to go. That's how I knew that these guys genuinely just didn't have egos like that. Ron was there every single time early. So as far as it
that right there is
character,
dedication,
I just truly disagree.
That's real dedication.
This is kind of one of those situations where I think history just kind of repeats itself. Now, a lot of people are sitting here asking as far as why I haven't left in a sense, or you know, why I'm not leaving along with him. I think for me, it's a little bit different. You know, that situation has been building up, especially at the Faze house for a little while now.
It's unfortunate to say, right? And I don't want to be the one that bear bad news, right? But this whole Faze thing, it's going to come to a halt very soon once the pressure is turned up. Because reality is, you guys have no equity in this, right? You're under no contract.
X, I'll be surprised if this shit lasts another year. We're not even talking about equity.
For me, I had kind of worked out as far as like maybe with the higher ups for Faze, my role and what I was doing and what I was comfortable with, and I was set, you know, for the last couple of years. And for me personally, I was just telling my manager this. I think, you know, Apex recruited me. So for me, I think whenever Apex calls it quits or Apex says he's no longer associated with the Faze brand, I think that's when I would step down, because at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? I feel like it's maybe you guys, people can understand it's a little disrespectful, you know, if Apex recruits me and then I just slide off, you know? Also, you just kind of got to see how everything plays out. I do want to sit here and say, though, I promise you, anybody from the Faze org is watching, yo, it is in your best interest to get these guys back. You guys got to get all these guys back, man. They have done an incredible job. They have single-handedly revived the entire brand. They've made people genuinely excited for
I don't think it don't matter what you do. Faze is done. Faze is like the Faze. I guess he's saying like the Faze organization needs to get these guys back to bring it back on their feet. There's no bringing Faze back up on your feet. Like Faze is done. You lost 3 OG Faze members. You lost Faze Rug, which you know Faze Rug would never in a million years leave Faze. So for him to leave Faze is crazy. Like there's something serious going on. Faze Adapt left. Faze Apex left. Like all these OG Faze members that never left are leaving. And then now you got this core group which, like Swag said, have been carrying Faze the last 2 years. Faze wasn't even a thought like in 2021, 2022, 2023. Everyone was saying Faze was dead. Like Faze wasn't making any content. None of that. The second they hired Plaqueboy Max, Jason the Ween, Stable Ronaldo, Lacey, Silky, Rage. After they had all these these new members in Faze, they started going crazy. They started carrying Faze, and they started changing the dynamic of Faze from being from YouTube to Twitch. Now instead of Faze videos being gaming or YouTube vlogs or YouTube videos, they changed it from that to streaming, Twitch streaming, you know, and a little bit of TikTok. Like, they changed the whole dynamic of Faze, and they were really caring, and they're all going crazy. All their streams averaging like thousands of viewers, tens of thousands of viewers. Lacey at one point had like 50K in his stream. I saw one time when they had that first Faze Miss subathon, not the second one, the first one, which was like a year ago. It's Stable Ronaldo too, and Jason, bro. All of them were going crazy. So if you see all of them leave with the big audiences they have, there's no bringing back Faze. Like, they're not just gonna leave and then join back. Like, there's no bringing back Faze after that. Like, it's like if AMP, all the AMP members left. AMP's not as, you know, historically famous as Faze is, but you get the gist of it. If all the AMP members left, AMP wouldn't be the same. There's not really any reviving it unless you bring in some top-notch celebrities, which would never happen.
Faze clan in almost a decade, you know. And I'm gonna say this right now: for any organization watching out there, or anything, company, or anything like that, you are nothing without your talent. You are nothing without, you know, genuine employees. You know, I knew things were bad at Faze when a long-time person who has been in there, Griff, I know you're watching this. When he was let go, I knew things were bad because there is a lot of good people who work at Faze. But this whole situation, it just almost feels like what happened 2 years ago with losing control of Faze and everything like that going on. So the boys will for sure speak to their own personal experience and in why they left individually. All the guys who left, you know, I think they just wanted to, you know, have a piece of what they were building, and that's completely valid, man. I mean, they've done a great job. They've streamed every single day. They've gone to video shoots when they did not have to. They did stuff for brands when they're not even getting paid for it. I mean, all of us for the last 2 years were literally not getting a salary. Like, we weren't getting a salary. Like, before 3-4 years ago in Faze, bro, it was 6 figures easy, no question. The last 2 years, none of us have taken a salary. We understand that what's best for the org, and you know, putting money into the content, and that's all they did. That's why I respect the guys so much, because they would spend so much money even of their own money to put into the Faze content to make it good. Money into their own content to make it good, and that inspired me. Now a lot of people are asking, are they going to make their own org? I think a lot of people are asking that question, and I don't think that's something that's on the horizon. I think you got to understand that, you know, it's Christmas time. Look, like that clip of Ron where he said he did not want to leave Faze. I promise you, this is the last thing they wanted to do. This is something that they just feel like they had no other choice, you know? But I think it's always important to note that, like I said, talent comes first. Whether this whole thing was making money or not, I feel like gaming organizations in general aren't built to make money. And I don't think that's why we were even in the first place. That's not why I was in it. I just want to be a part of a team. You know, I was completely fine for the last year and a half making $0. My favorite thing to do was all of us going to the Faze shoots and making YouTube content and just hanging out and vibing. Like that's what I joined for, you know, is the camaraderie, you know. At the end of the day, I think it's completely in anybody on the Faze company side best interest to get all these guys back. They are the ones who cared. There's nobody who cared about the org more than they did. They single-handedly brought it back. The guys did. The guys who worked day in and day out and created content and carried that name. Like I said, I don't really have a decision on what I'm going to be doing. I'm kind of just letting things kind of play out as they go. I kind of wanted to make this video just because, you know, a lot of people are asking because I am in Faze and a lot of these different questions. I kind of want to just kind of give you an inside scoop on and kind of tell you guys about their character. You know, I'm seeing, you know, their character being questioned and how much they actually cared about the brand and why would they leave such a thing like that. Man, I'm telling you, this is the last thing they wanted to do. Like I said, the boys just wanted a piece of what they were building, and from the likes of it, they weren't getting that piece of what they were building, you know? I've been through already one Faze rebuild, man. So like this, Adapt leaving does feel, it feels a little different this time. It feels like it may be cooked, but I hope it's not. You know, I do love being in the team. I do love the team in general. I'm always rooting for the boys no matter what they're going to do. But whenever they're ready to speak on it, they will speak on it in detail. But that's...
I mean, that is a tough spot to be in because, I mean, with their individual content, it's a little bit different. That's like their individual brand. Like, they're always going to be making content, whether it's together or individually. But as for the organization with Faze, like Swag just said, you know, he said easy 6 figures they were making back when, you know, when being in Faze, you know, 3-4 years ago. But, you know, he said in the last 2 years, they're not making a dime off from Faze. And everything's not about money. But when you're in an organization like Faze and they have you going to video shoots and shooting for brands and doing all these things for Faze, that's like slaving. Like you're slaving in a way. Like and it's like cool, like you have Faze in your name. Like it's a cool thing to be in an organization like that. But when you're putting in that much effort, that much work into something and not getting really any appreciation, not getting anything in return, it's like, what am I really doing this for? And there's so much more things that could have went on behind the scenes that could have enticed them to leave because they were in it for 2 years. Like, so for them to just back out, that wasn't the only reason. Like, there's so many more things that went on behind the scenes that we don't even know. Like, there could have been way more. There could have been a lot of phone calls, a lot of emails that went on. So, but that's just the starting point. That's like the icing on the cake. Like, I know there's so much more to it, but it is a lot. That's a lot for a creator, and you have to worry about your own brand too. Like that's the reason you got into this, is your own accounts, your own influence. Like you have your own audience to worry about, and then you got this organization that you're carrying that you're getting nothing out of. It's like, well, what am I doing this for? You know, with little to no appreciation.
As far as them having egos and not caring about each other and hating on each other, bro, I'm telling you, these guys we're off camera. They're clowning, they're joking, they're hanging out all the time. These guys would hang out together all the time. They live together. And you can't fake numbers. Faze Clan won back-to-back orders of the year. So make sure y'all drop a like, hit that subscribe button down below. Hopefully it kind of clears things up as far as just understanding what was going on inside. And like I said, some people were questioning if I was leaving or not. Look, I don't know right now. It's one of those things where it's kind of just up in the air. Like I said, I had a conversation with Apex literally last night about everything. We have a call today to kind of just talk over everything. A lot of people are asking, I don't really know what Kayson is planning. I really don't know what Rage is planning as well. I'm sure they will announce whatever they're feeling as well. I love Rage. Rage is one of the funniest humans, man. He came to the subathon and went absolutely nuts. So, like I said, he's another person who does his own thing as well. Kayson, like I said, is very heavy in esports. But I'm sure they'll announce whatever they're feeling and whatever they're doing. Scope's probably the greatest sniper of our time. So, I mean, he's going to keep doing what he's doing. I was really talking to Apex last night. He was sitting here telling me over the last 2 years, he has genuinely tried to just help and be a part of the team.
Oh yeah,
more,
Faze
and
Scopes
just feels like he wasn't even given the opportunity, man. I love Apex, so I'm gonna have a call with Apex later and kind of talk over everything. Look, I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know what the boys are going to do. Look.